Oh, hi, I'm Pam Duffy. Today I'd like to go over Article 16 of the Code of Ethics. It's all about respect. You can be aggressive in your business practices as long as you're ethical. You can't use the MLS as a prospecting tool. That's unethical. What you can do is offer a different service, like property management. It's all about being nice to one another. If I call you and ask you a bunch of questions about your listing, if you don't answer the questions, you've opened the door for me to call your seller, and that's ethical for me to do that. If your seller calls me and says, my agent's doing a crappy job, would you please come and list my house? I can go out there, I can talk to him. I can even prepare a listing agreement that's dated the day after your listing expires. And that's ethical. He called me, I didn't call him. In 2010, I listed a builder's house, and it sold. And now he has another house for sale, and you listed it. That's okay. Nobody has clients for life. If you don't want me to call your seller when your listing expires, don't let the listing expire. When you meet a prospective client, always ask, are you working with another realtor? If the answer is yes, ask them if they've signed an agency agreement with them. If they answer yes, then turn them back to their agent. If that prospective buyer or seller tells you that they have an agency agreement with another realtor, you better not talk to them, even if that realtor is your best friend. You better turn them back to their representative. You've got a buyer in your car, you see a for sale by owner. The buyer wants to see the property. You say, great. You call that seller, ask them if the property's still for sale. Can you show it? Seller says yes. Then you explain to him that you don't represent them, you represent the buyer. You have a signed agency agreement with that buyer. But then you ask the seller if he's willing to pay you a commission. If that seller says yes, he'll pay you, I'll pay you $1,000 in cash. You can't accept $1,000 in cash. The money has to go to your broker. You can only be compensated by your broker. You get a telephone call from Susie Realtor, and she says, hey, I can write an offer on your listing if you'll pay me more commission than is offered in MLS. It says in MLS it's 2.5, but I don't work for free. I want 3. That's unethical. You can't tie your commission to the offer. You're talking to a seller about listing his property. You have nothing in writing from him, nothing signed, but he tells you to go ahead and put a sign in his yard. Can you do that? No. You got to have written permission to put a sign in the yard. You've been thinking about leaving the company you're with because you don't like the coffee, you don't like the sales meetings, you don't like the floor duty time, you just generally don't like anything. So you find you a new company, you go to all your sellers and you tell them you're leaving and you want them to come with you to this new firm. And then you go to all of your buyers you're working with, that you have agreements with, and you tell them that you're leaving and you want them to come with you. Can you do that? Is that ethical? No. The listings and the buyer agreements belong to the broker. Now that that's over, y'all need to leave. Somebody's coming to film me. See you next time.